Hi guys, Crista Tharp with Blissfully Simple Events, and today we are going to talk about what do you need to do as soon as you get engaged. Don't let the thought of wedding planning freak you out. It does not need to be. It can actually be quite blissfully simple, hence my name. It's a little shameless plug, but it really can be. So let's talk about that. How can you actually put the engaged back into your engagement and enjoy everyone around you without becoming a bridezilla and going crazy and losing all kinds of money? It really is possible. So number one, my first tip is do not go to the internet for wedding planning advice. Most of it is old. It's from the 80s or the 90s, and it's based on how many months out from your wedding that you need to book a vendor. That's absolutely outdated. You don't want to do that. So don't do that. You could go to other wedding sites, The Knot, Wedding Wire, other places like that to get some questions answered and things like that. That's a great idea. So that's fine, but stay away from the free planning advice that's on the website because it's only going to make your experience more difficult. Tip number two. Obviously, I highly recommend a wedding planner. Not all wedding planners are made the same, however, so check out who you have in your area. Check out how they charge. Check out if they have a day of coordinating package, if they have a full service package, what you're looking for, and then go meet them because every wedding planner is unique. So people that come to me, they realize she's a little offbeat. She has an interesting sense of humor, and that's fine. Some people need someone that's really, really, really strict and really professional. However you're wanting to do that, it's a personal issue and decision for you and your family. So my tip number two would be definitely look into a wedding planner. It is not a luxury. Most people, when they are asked after their wedding, that is one of the best money that they spent for their wedding because it really keeps the stress down and it makes everything go very, very well. So, second tip. Third tip. What if you don't want to have a wedding planner? Does that mean that you don't deserve to have a smooth and seamless wedding? Absolutely not. I didn't have a wedding planner. My sisters didn't have a wedding planner, although they would now if they got married again. But you can do it on your own. So I'm going to tell you, albeit very quickly, and you will be able to look down in the description part of this and see a link that takes you to my website that will give you an actual printed out version of the Bliss Method because I'll go through this fairly quickly. So the Bliss Method is a 4-phased system that walks you through the planning, execution, and delegation of your wedding. You could do it in 2 weeks or in 2 years. That's why it's so important to stay away from all that old stuff on the internet. All right, so the first phase is called Pure Bliss, very girly, but that's where you're getting engaged, where you're telling everybody, where you're sending out engagement announcements if you choose to. That's not crucial. But what you need to be doing is you need to talk with your family. You need to have a nice talk with them. Find out who's willing to give what and what they expect. It's very nice to do that so that you can start off on the right foot. Next thing, it's not fun, it's not sexy, but the guest list is extremely important. You could say, oh, I think we're going to have 200 people and then go rent a venue. And if it's 300 people, you will have lost your venue and lost your deposit. Don't do that. It's very, very important that you do the guest list first. So also picking out a date or a certain time of date and working on a budget. That's what the Pure Bliss phase should be. Second phase is overwhelming bliss. And that sounds crazy, but that's when you're booking all of your vendors. And it's important that you start picking the ones that all fit together. So when you're talking about your caterers, your venue, your photographer, a wedding planner, all of those things need to be put together. Now, depending on how soon you're getting married, if it's a year or less, you should definitely be working on your wedding dress and your bridal party dresses. They generally say a year for a bridal dress and 6 to 8 months for the bridesmaids dresses. So go ahead and start working on that. But the next thing is really booking all of your vendors. Third phase is called Express Your Bliss. Now, this is where every bride wants to start. Unfortunately, if you start here, it's where you start going crazy because you don't have your foundation built. So the third phase of Express Your Bliss is the fun stuff. It is your decor, your invitations, the theme, centerpieces, favors, tuxes. This is when the tuxes would come in. all of those kinds of fun things. That is an express your bliss. So that's when Pinterest comes in. I have a love-hate relationship with Pinterest. Most wedding industry professionals do, because they think it's great. You can put pictures and things like that in these boards, but sometimes brides will go crazy and they don't realize, oh, that's way out of my budget. So it's a love-hate relationship with it. So be careful with Pinterest, because you don't want to go overboard. So if your wedding looks like Pinterest puked in it, you have a problem. Okay, so that's where Pinterest can be scary. So that's my warning on Pinterest. Now let's talk about the fourth phase. The fourth phase is called Countdown to Bliss, because ain't nobody in bliss anymore. This is where you're really close to the wedding. It's usually a month to 2 weeks before. And that's where you're putting together all of the details of your wedding. Who is taking the bridal party to and from? Are you getting a limo? Who's got the wedding license? Who's going to take all the stuff from the church to the reception? What about parking? What if there is emergency management, if it's in the summer and you have a tornado? All these little things that you have to put together that you're doing crazy. How are you going to get your luggage from your car to just lots of little things. Now, if you have a planner, they're really going to help you during this time. If you don't have a planner, you just want to make sure that you're extremely organized and have written down the things that you need so that you can make yourself feel a lot more comfortable. Now, one more thing about the Bliss Method. I'm going to give you an analogy that really makes it easier to think about. If you think about your wedding planning as if you were building a home, it works out really well. So the first phase, pure bliss, is actually picking out your plot. You need to find out where you want to live. Do you want to be in Kokomo? Do you want to be in California? Where do you want to be? When you find out where you want that wedding to be or your house to be, then you need to find out, do I need a country lot with 5 acres or do I need a city plot? That is your guest list. So you cannot build your house unless you know how big your house is going to be. So when you pick your plot, i.e. the venue, you will know that everything will fit. The second phase is framing your house with all the vendors. They all fit together. Everybody's the right thing. That's framing your house. Now, you can't decorate that house if it's not been framed. So do you get my point? Third phase is express your bliss. That's decorating. Carpet, paint colors. What are you going to put on the walls? What does the curb appeal look like? All of that is the fun stuff in the third phase. And fourth phase is where you really just want in the house because you've been doing this so long and working on it. You're just tired of it and you want to be in it. That's when you're making all of the tech ready things inside of your house, making sure that you have internet, that you've got Cat 5, can you do phone, all of that stuff, all the little details that come together. So if you think of your wedding planning like building a house and you're like, okay, what is this? It's favors. Should I be doing it? Well, that's kind of decorating. I don't really have the house built. That'll help you remember, I don't think we should be doing this. This needs to go first. So this really, truly will help you in any form of a wedding that you're going on, like whether it's 2 weeks or 2 years. I've done an on-live wedding that we did in 2 weeks. It's not a problem. It will make it easier for you. And really, let me tell this to you, wedding planning should be wonderful. It should not be stressful. I want to give you tips and advice that will help you to do it smoothly so that it actually is blissfully simple for you. Now, one more thing. I'll have information down on the bottom so that you could take a look at. If you are wanting something or a little bit more information on the Bliss Method, I also have a book. I know, shameless plug, but it's what we do, right? So it's called Blissfully Simple Engagements. And if you go to my website at Blissfully Simple Events, you would think I'd know my own website, blissfullysimpleevents.com, and under shop, you'll be able to find it. We're running a great deal on an ebook for $6 and the actual book for $12. And it talks about everything that you need to do. So if you're looking for a little bit more help, we have that for you as well. And if you're interested in wedding planning and you're in Central Indiana, I am always here to help you, and I'm always open to answering any of your questions. So please make sure that you subscribe and that you click the little bell so that you know when I'm going to be doing more information, more videos for you, because I really want to help you make this blissfully simple. So until then, congratulations, have a great time, and remember, it's all about the bliss.